Yeah. I have this tarp here. The tarp goes half, it's a strap underneath it or over it. Half of it goes this way and half of it goes this way. Got some firewood. I got my fire pit. Underneath that is actually a gas fire pit, which I haven't needed yet. I had a very large rack here, a couple $1,000, and I loaded the firewood on the top, but I was taking firewood off the back and leaving the firewood in the front, and not thinking that one time the rack was going down like this, and there were only a couple bolts. There were a lot more. I've added them. There was only one bolt here, one bolt here, holding all of that weight. It was actually above the bed of the truck. The lumber rack was about ready to snap. So I still could cut these for length. I think I'm gonna just put one straight across and see if it makes. What happens is right here, a lot of wind coming up there, right? Okay, so I gotta try it out. I gotta drive around on the freeway and see if the wind, if it doesn't come through here just right, it makes a howling noise. There's different ways to fix that. You could fix that by shortening this. See the aerodynamics of this? If you have a catch basin here, or whatever you want to call that, of air, it might start, you know, vibrating. Or I could raise this up by putting a 2x4 or something underneath this, the whole thing, and coming up on it. So right now it's sturdy, it's strong. I need a strap on it in order for it not to come off, because I haven't mounted and supported the bottom yet. Also, I forgot to mention, so this dimension here, 62 inches, from here to there, I made this 2x4 62 inches, so there is a gap here and a gap there. I can center that, but it made this whole thing straight. Now it does look better going down the front. This has always been a good idea, my dad's idea, where you can just reach in here underneath and grab stuff. So maybe I'll also have a little, you know, opening here, or maybe I won't close it. But anyways, I want it flush here and flush here, so that in the wintertime when it rains, the water will repel off. Most everything's going to be in a waterproof thing, protected. But you know, snow and all this other, and then that gives me the option of attaching it somehow. So for right now, this piece right here is going to go across the back. You'll see flush. You know, nothing's permanent. It's all kind of a design build. You know what I'm saying? Now I put these in at an angle. The reason why they're alternate, because that way the wood won't split. These are 1.5 inches and this wood is 1.5 inches. So if I go straight down, that little point is going to be sticking through. So I go at a little bit of an angle, a little bit of an angle. Doesn't poke through. Wear gloves so you don't get little slivers and little, you know, back in the day I didn't wear gloves. The rougher your hands were, the tougher you were. But nowadays, a little sliver will get you an infection and your whole arm could swell up, you could die. So, if you do get a cut or splinter, put Neosporin ointment or some kind of an antibiotic and cover it up. So it's flush here for plywood, and I can screw into here, a few screws into this. I've done that before with, I had a knack box. Okay, a couple things. We're just gonna connect this to here. I was gonna screw through. I was gonna screw through here, but look, you see that? There's nothing there. This is just a piece of tin. It's like part of that. I had the tailgate on there. Man, I could have lost that one. So we're just gonna disregard that. In order to connect these two together, I just flattened the clip. This is what I got. Look at that. So one goes there, maybe they're gonna go up here. On the trailer, I got 10 of them. Woo. Okay, so it's not completely screwed off. I still have to screw off here. I'm going to do that from the top. I'm going to put plywood on the top. The plywood's going to be up here, so it's going to be a little bit of wasted space there. The next thing is this plywood, which is only going to be 4 foot to my elbow right here. And then maybe later I'll put a piece here that I can hinge up and down. Okay, coming right along. So basically I put this 1/2 inch up. I got the plywood underneath here. I trimmed it here. This is still not supported. I might do something different there. I cut these here, but I didn't cut those. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, but I got these all situated. And I got them equally apart, which took a few tries here. Basically I was going to put 2x4s in here. I was going to put 2 2x4s. Now there's 3 of these. So now I'm going to cut these going this way. I might put a bracket inside there, but I'm going to put 2 screws and 2 screws, running low on screws. So we're going to do the other side. Then we're going to put plywood on the top. Now we're going to put the plywood up top and kind of call it a day. So it was a little out of square. I was able to push it out of square. Now I'm not going to put a ton of screws in here because I want to paint it, and it's probably easier to pull this plywood and paint underneath it, and paint these 2x4s from up here instead of from underneath because there's no room. I won't have to take this off. This whole, I'm going to paint it here. You'll see. I lifted this by myself with this chain. This chain weighs 30 pounds. So and I got some guys coming in. All right. Yeah. Woo. So that's why I want to put it. I want to mount it up in here.
Leave it in there. Yeah.
Yeah, leave it in there. Chain it up. That way I just turn it on and it's ready to go. Okay, let me get it. Wow. Ready? Yep, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. That's not too bad. Okay, so now I want to put this around it. All right. I'm going to lock it in with some 2x4s around it.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Somewhere up in here. See this exhaust? It needs 5 feet or more. That's why I got the space.
Why don't you bring it this way? But the wood, the wood will get heavier too, right?
The wood is heavy.
So you want to put the wood
I might put some of the wood underneath. But the gas and wood in a generator, it's kind of like, uh-oh, you got to be careful.
Right.
Yeah.
But the gas if it's out here breeding, you're gonna cover it all.
See that?
Yeah.
I got 2, 4, 6, 8 gallons right there, and it could go underneath some, you know.
Yeah. So
but I'm going to be organized.
Are you going to use these to lock in the generator with the wheels?
Yeah. I'm going to lock it in wherever I decide. Right. And I could just leave it right here, put a 2x4 here, put a 2x4 here, right. And then I could remove this 2x4. It could like come out. I could bring it over here. I could move it. I could move it wherever I want. Yeah. You know what I mean? I might have to move it around and play with it and see what I like. What didn't work is this bar right across here, a 2x4, okay? Because I would have to bend in here, you know, get in here, and that didn't work, okay? That didn't work. What I do want to do is plywood the top for shade and for storage and for the satellite dish. The satellite dish is the second most important thing. The generator was number 1, the satellite dish is number 2. So I'm going to need to put a post right here, have a 2x4 from here to here with the post, which will help lock in this bottom. I'm going to have a 2x4 from here to there, locking in this and this post, and then this post will be locked into that. So that way it still supports that, and I can drill through it and put some bolts through the bed of the truck. Now I put this piece of plywood on there, okay? That is going to be fixed, okay? Now as you notice, it's sticking past, and this is sticking past. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish that. So over here, as you can see, it's open. I can pull the tailgate down, and I can jump up there, and I could get these. These are still accessible, and I can jump up there. I could slide the generator over, and I could put gas in it. I could move it to the closer position over here so that I could access the on and off button. What I want to do is fully secure this and put plywood on this, but have it accessible so I can get up there, I can stand up in there. So this is the surprise for everyone. Hang on. It's hard to hold this. Which side's top? Doesn't matter. Okay. So I got, like I said, this is going to be fixed plywood from here all the way down. There's 3 pieces here. Those are going to be on hinges. I will center it, and then I'll go on the inside. I will scribe this, I will scribe this, I will scribe this, and I will scribe the top. Oh, we're gonna cut this, see what happens. Sometimes you just got to keep going until you start, you know, changing stuff, because you don't know what you're gonna have to change after you get to the finish because of something that didn't work right. Now, you don't want all that blade when you're only cutting 3/4. That's where the thing will bind up, and it's a big mess. So safety first. I should take that out. I've done this 1,000 times. Doesn't matter. I do take the battery out when I'm changing the blade. The sign here, this I save, they're normally 50 bucks a piece, magnetic signs, okay? I took a picture and I had it laminated. You can go to Staples, or I went to Minuteman Press for like $4, under $5 a piece. They actually took the picture that I sent them and they laminated it for under $5, okay? Now I got, this is 11.5 by 17, and I got 10 of them, and then I ordered on Amazon 8.5 by 11 magnetic self-stick. You can just peel off the paper and stick them. So that's what this has on it, okay? Now, just like Hollywood, okay? When they have a Hollywood premiere and people are taking photographs of celebrities and people that are involved in the project, behind them is the little pieces of, it's a backdrop with the names of all the affiliated members, or the host, or the sponsor, okay? Now, I got that idea of being a taxi driver in Hollywood. It's branding, and it's always showing that this is your video. Like they have in a microphone, they have the name of the person, the radio station, and then they might have a hat or a pin. So I'm gonna get all of that. But anyway, so this is magnetic sign for the tailgate, okay? Then I open the tailgate. I'm gonna have one here. I'm gonna open this up. For now, I have one on there just so it's in the photo, in the video, okay? So back to what we're doing. Okay, another thing is all of the slats, that's for airflow, right? So that way the carbon monoxide detector will not turn off, okay? So when these are closed, when I pull over somewhere and I'm sitting in my RV, I can't see in here. So obviously here is where the tailgate is closed, okay? But somewhere in here, probably matching those slats, I'm gonna cut slats in here, or some big holes, so that way not only can I see back there, but also I will have the airflow. It doesn't fit, so I'm gonna replace that with the 1x, replace this with the 1x. It's gonna look nicer. This right here, I'm gonna replace with the 1x. And I also have to put some kind of backing here for the latch. We're finally painting. I got this paint like over a week ago. One by four, okay? Now one of them doesn't overlap the other because I fixed the doors. The doors, as you can see, they're flush this way, they're flush this way, and they're flush this way. This latch, I'm gonna bolt all the way through it with these. It's gonna be below tailgate height right here. So that's just extra security. I don't have to always have it locked, but if I go somewhere for a couple hours and, you know, somehow they figure out how to get into the truck and open the tailgate, then I have that you know, they're gonna have to make some noise, or maybe they know how to pick a lock. But anyway, it's also to keep the raccoons out. You know, I'm allergic to raccoons. I like the shade I have here. I'm thinking about putting something that flips over. These two doors open up and have something that comes over here, so I could get shade and maybe some protection from the rain. So yesterday I framed this in. Now when I put these slats, I just divided equally, so that way I'd have somewhat of security and keeping the stuff inside. I didn't want these too small. I wanted airflow. So this is just what happened. It happened to be 3.5 inches here. So one of these was in the way. I framed it in. I put these clips to strengthen it. This right here isn't flush and this isn't quite flush, so I have to adjust that. I got 2 3-inch screws in here and 2 in here. Yesterday I also framed in for the light in the camera. Okay. I need to find a place for this. Be right there. I got to get up here and I got to pull this handle. Okay. I think maybe the handle here, except that, right? So and that'll flip over. The Starlink dish, for now, it's going to mount here. Now, if I have enough cable, probably over here would be better. So this is a fixed plywood, and I'm going to get some kind of bolts coming up, and then I could just use some wing nuts, so I don't need a wrench or anything. I could just, you know, I haven't really thought that through, but I don't want to have to grab a screw gun. I guess it's going to be permanently mounted, so we're still not sure about that, but I want to get that ready to go. So if I have to pull my trailer, I get a job and I got to pull my trailer and truck, I want it to be set up. So painting it is obviously the last thing. Okay, then let's look at these doors. I'm hoping that once I paint it, it will look a little bit better with just minimal trimming. But like I said before, this plywood is a couple of years old and it's been in the sun and the rain, so it was easily chipping. finally, we are done with the truck build. It's been 3 months ago that I started this. Let's show you what I got. I've been on 2 trips since then, and I've already got some ideas about modifications, but this is what I got so far. We got this lock I installed with lag bolts all the way through, cut them off. Got these to hold the doors. I got the springs, the ladder, easy access. I just pull this right here. Just in case I don't want to pull the ladder out, I installed this handle right here. Just lift it up here, lay it down, step up, pull this up, lay it down. Okay, a quick couple of things. This generator, it has a carbon monoxide detector and it's shut off. It recommends 5 feet of clearance for the exhaust. Right here. That's why I opened that up. That's why I opened it up. Now, if the wind's blowing this way, guess what? It shuts off, okay? So I can flip that around. I can have the exhaust going the other way. I can move those gas cans. I can have plenty of airflow. Sometimes I even opened this up and I opened the doors and still it shut off. So I bought a fan. Jim and I, we both had the same idea within a couple of days of each other. Thinking about it, I have a fan that blows on the exhaust when it might be shooting this way, a fan blowing the wind this way. Depending on which way the wind's going, I have the fan support that and blow away from the exhaust. Now, I watched some YouTube videos where I can disconnect that. That's going to be an option. Also, there is a 5,000 dual fuel, propane and gas, that I'm looking at buying for about 1,100 bucks. Now, propane is a lot easier to handle. I already have propane for the trailer and I already have gas for the truck. So gas and propane are both something that I use a lot. Now, gas I can get for $1 cheaper, sometimes $2 cheaper, depending on where I'm at. I can get it cheaper here before I go on a trip. Now, propane might not have an exhaust problem, so that's something to look into. Right here I spoke about the fact that there could be a lot of noise here from the wind. This setup, the way I have it right now, there was no wind noise on the freeway, so that worked out great. As you can see, there's not a lot of room there for the wind, and the way I have this situated, I got lucky. These are now stapled instead of magnetized, which I did want to do. This was faster. The sun did warp them a little bit, but they've survived and they're cheap and I can replace them, and I'm going to add and subtract different pictures when I post different videos. The way I have this set up, I have 3 levels of accessibility with storage. The bottom, obviously, you've already seen where I have these bins. Take note that these bins are different sizes. You can purchase them. They all look the same, but they're a little bit different. There's a couple inches difference on the size, the width and the height and the length. So in one of these videos that I have these 3 going this way. Well, I moved this back. As you can see here, I have some extra room here. I might not have needed that, but the other thing is when I started building it, I was considering where I wanted that, and I thought I had plenty of room over here. 12-footer, that was a 12-footer, so that's where it ended up. Another thing that's very popular are these drawers that people put here to slide out. The only thing is, I got firewood, I got tools, I got camping gear, I got a lot of different things that change that up all the time. I have these bins at the house right now, and some of them are filled with firewood, some of them are filled with camping gear, so I can switch them out. Okay, they have these things called jet sleds. There's different brands. They're at Bass Pro Shops in different places where you can pack and load stuff for hunting and drag them across the snow. I'm considering putting at least one on this side where I can have some lighter stuff. I can maybe put some smaller bins that'll fit in that sled and be able to pull it out, get stuff a little bit easier. One thing that's also a pain in the butt is I can pull the generator over to pour gas into it, but that's a 5-gallon can. When it's full, it's a pain in the butt to pour in, even if you have a good funnel. This right here, for 12 bucks, is a lifesaver. The only thing is, 2 batteries go in here, and there's a connection between here and here. It's plastic, it's delicate. One of them broke right here. I got 4 of them. 2 of them are broken. So basically, if it doesn't work, twist it and see if there's a connection problem. This is a brand new one that I just bought, so I have 2 that sometimes work, and this one is a backup. So it's worth the 12 bucks. If it does break, buy a couple, don't worry about it. It's sometimes when I get on a trip, I get to my destination and I have extra gas there that I didn't need for the generator. So I put the gas can on a bucket right here and I siphon it in. And now some clips of our next show and possibly some bloopers. And don't forget to subscribe.
Let me know.
So I got the satellite dish. It's permanently mounted.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, so I start the generator and
What's this? You got a little door you can get up in?
yeah, look. So you want to get the generator? Look, flip this up.
Oh, shit.
Flip it down. Let it go down. And now look. Now put your coffee in there. Oh, look, get that,
shit.
get that.
Get that motherfucker. Ah, I got him under there.
Yeah, okay.
And now you put your hand there, see if he bites.
So stand up there. And then see that thing, the hook? Grab the hook. And that goes all the way up and over. All the way up and over. And it goes over. So don't fall back in.
Nice, dude.
Look at that. Now look, watch this. You pull this up.
You got a lot of time on your hands, bro. It looks great, though.
I know, pull this up.
Yeah.
Look at this. Whoop.
Nice.
Check the gas, oh, it's all, what does that say? Full. Okay, so this way, look, see the exhaust down here? The exhaust needs air and movement. That's what I got all this. And look, I got a hole there.
As you could run it right where
so I
at.
could run it where it,
Oh, stop it.